Hello everyone, welcome back to the Learner Portfolio example entries. Here today we'll be considering an example of a creative response entry. The example will be based on Hamlet by William Shakespeare, and it will discuss, again, as we did with the early ones, why it stands out as a compelling and insightful entry. The creative response entries are some of my personal favorite entries into the Learner Portfolio because they allow us to really get creative with the text and consider the many different alternatives that a text could have gone. This, as we'll see, could be literary. However, it could also be other forms of art. It could be a drawing based on the descriptions that we've seen. It could be alternative chapters. It could be alternative endings. Or, in this case, as we'll see. So it will be a soliloquy from Ophelia's perspective. To be or not to be, that is a question I ponder. Caught in the whirlwind of courtly intrigue and affection, my father's will, my brother's counsel, Hamlet's love. Each pulls me in a different direction, and I, a fragile flower, sway in the storm. To obey, to love, to live. Yet who am I in this chaos? 'Tis a question that drowns me deeper than the brook. A creative entry. I'm getting in touch with a bit of prose. So let's break down why this creative response is effective. It's imaginative. So this response imaginatively reinterprets Hamlet from a fresh perspective. It demonstrates a deep engagement with the original text by crafting a soliloquy for Ophelia, the student who gives voice to a character who is often overshadowed in a play. Ophelia, although a crucial character, doesn't get as much direct exploration of her inner thoughts in the play. And by choosing to write from her perspective, the student shows a thoughtful and empathetic approach to understanding her inner turmoil. This choice demonstrates the student's ability to see beyond the main characters and to delve into the psyche of a secondary character, enriching the reader's overall understanding of that play. It shows a deep engagement with the play. The language and the structure of soliloquy mimic Shakespeare's style, indicating that the student has a strong grasp of the play's linguistic and rhythmic nuances, which is fantastic. And phrases like whirlwind of courtly intrigue and affection and a fragile flower effectively convey the complexity of Ophelia's emotional state and the external pressure that she faces. The use of iambic pentameter, a hallmark of Shakespearean dialogue, shows the student's ability to reproduce the intricate patterns of Elizabethan English, and attention to a stylistic detail demonstrates not only a thorough understanding of Shakespeare's writing, but also emphasizes and shows the student's skill in emulating it. The soliloquy explores Ophelia's conflict between obedience and self-identity, and providing a deep psychological insight into her character. By expressing her thoughts and emotions in a soliloquy format, the student has managed to capture that internal struggle that Ophelia faces, caught between her father's will and her brother's counsel and Hamlet's love. This nuanced exploration of her character adds depth to the response, and it showcases the student's understanding of the multifaceted nature of Ophelia's dilemma. The soliloquy format also allows the student to delve deeply into Ophelia's psyche and present a true vivid picture of her inner conflict and her emotional turmoil. The creative response also showcases the student's ability to engage with literary themes and characters in an innovative way. It extends the analysis beyond that traditional format. By capturing Ophelia's voice authentically, the student demonstrates a nuanced understanding of her character, the broader themes of the play, such as duty, such as love, such as identity, and Ophelia's struggle with obedience versus self-identity, to echo those larger themes in Hamlet, including the tension between personal desires and societal expectations. This approach really enriches the student's analysis and reflects their capacity for critical and creative thinking, aligning perfectly with an ideal portfolio entry. By authentically capturing Ophelia's voice, the student brings a new dimension to the character, making her internal struggle much more visible, much more relatable. It is a creative effort that shows a deep engagement with the text and also enhances the reader's understanding of Ophelia's perspective that we may not have gotten from the novel. The use of authentic Shakespearean language, the careful construction of Ophelia's soliloquy, contribute to a more comprehensive interpretation of Hamlet. This response makes Ophelia's internal struggles much more tangible, and it helps readers to empathize with her situation and understand the broader context of her actions within the play in a very different light. This response to Hamlet, as we can see, serves as a great example for an IB learner portfolio. It demonstrates imaginative reinterpretation, emulation of Shakespeare's style, exploration of character conflict, engagement with literary themes, and even authentically catches the character's voice. So as we work on our own perspectives, as we go through further examples, these fresh insights and the way they emulate the original text style, the way they explore those deep character conflicts, they have to engage with broader themes. They have to authentically capture the character's voice. By doing so, we will create responses that are insightful, and they demonstrate our critical and our creative and our critical thinking skills, and allow us to really show our insight, our inclusion into the novel. The creative response entries are very open, unlike the other ones, which are very rigid in their design, in their style. The creative response entries are much more open. They leave us with much more room, flexibility to move and to take it into a direction that we want to take it in. It can also play into our strength. Maybe some of us are better writers, some of us are better drawers, some of us are better poets. So the creative response entries allow us to take these in a very different direction. That said, a creative response entry should still head in the direction of a text. So in this case with Shakespeare, using the pentamic diameter really shows that the student has connected with this and taken it, sticking to the type of text found in the book. It would be strange, for example, to consider, say, the novel To Kill a Mockingbird and insert a poem very similar to this into To Kill a Mockingbird, because it wouldn't be in keeping with the text. So as we're creating our creative responses, we still need to pay attention to the type of text we're choosing for the text that we're using. Next up, we will consider the research notes entry, and again, go with an example and analysis. Thank you. See you in the next one.